As previously reported, Britney Spears made an official request on Monday to replace dad, Jamie, as her conservator. She and her legal team would like Jason Rubin, a certified public accountant at Certified Strategies, Incorporated, to take Jamie's place. What was not reported at the time, however, were some of the details behind this official request. Now, though, we've gotten a look at parts of the 127-page document submitted this week to court, and it paints Jamie in an even worse light than before, if that's even possible. Let's start with the financial picture, shall we? Rosengart outlines in these papers all the ways in which Britney's father has profited handsomely from a conservatorship that has been in place since 2008. For instance, Jamie Spears receives a set amount of $16,000 per month, plus an extra $2,000 for office expenses. He's also been earning 1.5% of gross revenues from his daughter's Las Vegas residency, which has allegedly netted Jamie $2.1 million. The documents add that Jamie got $2.95 from Britney's 2011 Femme Fatale tour, which came to an estimated $500,000. Rosengart proceeded to cite a report in a Forbes magazine article that indicated Britney Spears' net worth is shockingly low when you consider her 4 studio albums and all her concerts over the past decade plus. The conclusion he therefore has drawn. Serious questions abound concerning Mr. Spears' potential misconduct, including conflicts of interest, conservatorship abuse, and the evident dissipation of Mrs. Spears' fortune, which Mr. Spears has effectively controlled since 2008, the attorney says. Jamie's supposedly primary role in the past 13 years has been to look out for his family's fortune. And yet, Rosengart notes that the family has struggled financially under his leadership and filed for bankruptcy in 1998. Of course, this saga extends far beyond money. In multiple testimonials as part of her push to remove her dad from her life, Britney has told a judge how Jamie should be investigated for abuse. She has said, for shocking example, that the conservatorship bans her from having kids, which means she cannot remove her IUD. These just submitted papers, meanwhile, call the relationship between famous daughter and father as venomous and says it impairs Mrs. Spears' mental health, her well-being, and her ability to proceed and continue with her extraordinary career. It also delves into how circumstances have changed a great deal since 2008. Back then, remember, Britney had just had a mental breakdown, shaving her head, and getting admitted to the hospital. Her lawyer now states since receiving professional medical care at the outset of this conservatorship over 13 years ago, Mrs. Spears is clearly in a different place now, and she has been for many years. The entire world has witnessed Mrs. Spears working tirelessly with astonishing dedication, precision, and excellence as a musical artist and performer, an exceptional earner for Mr. Spears, who had a financial interest in making sure she would continue to work and perform. Spears' mother, Lynn Spears, has also thrown her support fully behind the effort to remove Jamie as the conservator. In a declaration accompanying this motion, Lynn alluded to Jamie's complete control over Britney, his mistrust of her, his coercion of her, his bartering with her over what she can and cannot do for whatever reward or punishment he is willing to mete out, his constant threats, and his decision-making over all aspects of her life. She said this even after Britney dragged her mom for not being there for her at all over the past several years. Lynn also brought up an alleged physical altercation between Jamie and Britney's 2 sons, Sean Preston Federline and Jaden James Federline, which led to a restraining order being granted in 2019. Wrote Lynn in her filing of the actions that solidified the failure of my daughter's and Mr. Spears' relationship. The physical altercation between Mr. Spears and the conservative's minor children, my grandchildren, was perhaps the most appalling and inexcusable, and understandably destroyed whatever was left of a relationship between them. You can read more about this alleged case of abuse here.